So today, I've done all those, I haven't quite done all of those yet, but pee, poop, Prozac, cat poop. I've done that one and this one. Nope, that one. I still have that one and that one. The two poops to go. Sorry, I should have planned this better and cleared my throat before turning my camera on. So today, I'm going to continue to try to organize my house a little bit because it's just too crazy. And I'm finding things that I did 20 years ago that I should just throw away. But I can't. This is Big Brother watching you. This is a box, a little face I made out of a camera box. That was part of the exhibit I did. And there's just a lot of things I guess I do things other than sit on my butt all day long. So good for me. So today, maybe I'll throw more things out. I've been working on going through old videos I recorded of me drawing on my iPad and throwing out most of them, but some of them I keep and some I upload to YouTube. So there's a bunch of new 10-second long videos, which I'll put in a playlist so that you don't have to wade through them. Or if you want to see them, you can see them all in one playlist. But I think some of them are kind of important to see how one, in this case me, thinks and designs a picture. And then some of them are drawings that I've done that are meant to be animations. They're sort of created to become an actual moving picture all by themselves. And those are fun as well. So they're very short. There's 6 seconds long or something. And that's more than enough time to get the point. I don't have a plot in my movies. It's usually just showing some little tiny bit of motion in the world, whether it be a wind blowing or waves crashing or excavators excavating or a cat meowing. Kitty, what do you want? Dina. There you are. Anyway, this is a lovely pen. The nib is particular, but even the rest of it isn't bad. Yes, it's one of these off-brand things that were made to look like the fancy Waterman pens that would cost, back in the day, $15 or something. And then this pen was probably only $1. Sold through Sears and Roebuck or an ad in the back of a comic book or something. Ladies' Home Journal. I don't know. But it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Though you and you and you and you and you would say they're junk, and you and you and you and you and you would be wrong. No, you'd be vaguely correct. A friend of mine, pen collector friend of mine, who lives in the Back Bay of Boston on one of the fanciest streets, surrounded by some of the fanciest houses that were built in the last half of the 2 centuries ago, the 1880s through the 19 teens. Beautiful townhouses, single family, back at the day when single family people lived there. And he's originally from England, so he looks at America's history with through a different lens, I guess. And he talks about how it's just Victorian and it's not great. Just because it's old doesn't mean it's great. And that's true. Old can just be old. Or in the case of a package of bologna in your refrigerator that's 6 years old, it's probably going to kill you if you eat it. But I would tell him, I say, okay, so it doesn't really have, it's not Blenheim Palace, it isn't the Taj Mahal, it isn't Falling Water by Frank Lloyd Wright. They're sort of cookie cutter. The Victorian era had so much, quote, bad design. It was where fanciness was just added on top of fanciness, and then you added a little bit of more fancy, and before you are done, you add a couple more little things of fancy, and then you just add a little bit of fringe and a little bit of la-di-da, and you called it a day. Oh, no, I can add another bit of da right there. And then you were done. So here's your Victorian clusterfuck. And but I would tell this friend, I said, okay, I understand that the design might be a little lacking, but ask someone today to copy that exactly. They don't even need to buy plans. All they have to do is take out their ruler and measure that brick and copy it. Well, you don't have people that know how to cut stone anymore. They don't exist. Or if they do, that building will cost $10 trillion to build because you have to train laborers or hire a sculptor who carves in marble to carve a brick for a step on the front porch, because no one knows how to do this anymore. Back in the olden days, everyone did. Well, stonemasons did. But now no one knows how to do that other than a sculptor. And maybe there's probably someone that carves tombstones that they could hire to do it. But a regular laborer, no. You have to hire new people that know how to do that. So, how do you make one of these today? Well, you have to yes, you could just scan it 3-dimensionally and squeeze one out of a 3D printer and spray paint it gold, and it will look kind of like this. Anyway, this is fine. I know some people think it's junk, but it looks fine. And if I sometimes rent pens and other antiques that I have to movie companies for films, and they'll have some star holding a pen and writing in her diary, "Heathcliff left me this morning," or whatever the dialogue would be. And I could loan them, rent them an actual Waterman Ooh La La basket weave, whatever these are called, pens, for whatever dollars, whatever the going rate of renting property is. And I did rent them pens, and I had a Big Red that someone rented, and it never came back to me. They paid for it, but and then I rented another pen, a beautiful pen, and it came back with a bent nib. So what I do now is rent them this one rather than the fancy Waterman. It's cheaper for them to rent, and it's also, if they break it or lose it, it's not as traumatic as why is this leaking on me? So anyway, but holding it in my hand, there's really no difference in the experience, especially when it has a beautiful nib. If this had the nib that was originally on this thing, I would be cursing it, because the original nib would have been steel and scratchy. This is a beautiful Victorian nib on this one, though. But is it cracked? I'm getting ink on my fingers, and I don't know where that... there's a crack right there. That's where the ink is coming from. So if I use this pen, I have to remember to hold it back further. But that's where it's coming from, folks. Right there, there's a little crack. Sometimes when you use eyedrop fill pens, there might be a leak at the joint there where you unscrew it, and screw it back in, and the threads do wear in time, and it may leak a little bit. Hello, Tasha. Tasha is in the room now. I saw you in the room before, and but I didn't want to lose my train of thought. But Tasha wrote, just someone trying to make a buck, and it worked, and it did work. There's a watch company, Ingersoll, and a pen company, Ingersoll, the same company, and they made $1 pocket watch and $1 fountain pen. And honestly, I don't know how they could have sold them for only $1, even though they're really crappy. The Ingersoll pocket watch might last a few days. Maybe it would last more if you just kept it at home. But if you put it in your pocket and walked around and carved stone for that Victorian house repair, because you still knew how to do that, I have a feeling that they would rust easily and be poor timekeepers. And their pens had gold nibs, but they were really, really flimsy gold nibs, and you press down at all and they just spread really, really far. They're very wet noodly, but they don't know when to stop. So you press down too far and you'll break them. So I wonder if my cat is in her window. Tina, are you in your window? Oh, I was wondering, Boston Pen Show, 10th annual, 1997. This is a invitation I designed for Rob Morrison when he took over running the pen show from me. Oh, Otto Yang. Actually, it was when Otto and Rob and I ran the show. And I said, I'll design things, I'll do the table layout, I'll deal with this, that, and the other, but I can't deal with the money, and I can't deal with other things. So I made it overly complicated for everyone by including them in the organization, but but they did get the easy part. But all the information they gathered had to come back to me, and I had to balance it. Yes, crap from the olden days is so much better than new crap. That's exactly right. My phone that I have might last another year, having lasted, I don't know, 5 years, but the phone that I had when I was a kid was connected to the wall, still works. The camera that I had when the phone was connected to the wall, I had a camera that was not connected to the wall, and that still works. Of course, you can't get film developed anymore. You have to own your own darkroom, but the camera works. Well, I'm going to continue with my day, Tasha, so I'll see you later. And I'll wash my hands of the ink and talk to you later.